Yes, yes, yes. Big up to everyone locked in. Welcome back to Football with Ends. Listen, I'm here to have an uncomfortable conversation when it comes to footballing opinions. I was sitting there going, I keep seeing these things on social media. So let's use Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and you guys can add, whatever else that you guys use, your footballing needs and news. But I look around and I see so many people with so many different opinions on football, but not many has ever experienced or played the game.
He ain't lying.
I ain't gonna lie, it triggers me. I'm triggered when it comes to certain things because I see people criticize players. They get onto players. They're like, I would have done better. That would have done better. My nan would have done this.
You okay?
Nah, I'm gonna call my grandmother.
You can call your grandmother?
But I'm like, really? Really? Do you know how much it takes for a player to get even get into a Premier League team? Do you know how much work they have to put in to even get to that level? And I feel like with most of these opinions online at the moment, it devalues the work that most players have to do, most academy players, most grassroots players, most professionals. I feel like it devalues it. So I want to know what you guys think, man. Should everyone's opinion matter when it comes to football? Because let's use, for an example, Twitter.
No, actually, I'm English.
After a win or after a loss, there's a lot of people that jump onto that platform and give their opinions on the game. Some of them are wild takes. Some of them are crazy. Some of them saying that they could have done better in certain situations. But I'm like, if you could, why haven't you done that? Why aren't you there? Because if you could, and if you're saying that person should have done better in this particular position, then surely you should be there, right? Surely you should be, because you know better. You've done it. So your opinion should matter. You should stand up there and be able to shout and disagree and agree on whatever, and your opinion matters, and you have to have main character syndrome. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I was sitting there just thinking, like, how many people have these mad opinions, but when you give logical, when you give context, when you give understanding, when you add all of those things into your takes when it comes to football, most people don't want to listen. They don't want to listen because they automatically feel that as long as we speak about the players in a negative way, and as long as people agree, then that means I am right and I'm correct into what I'm saying. For an example, if we're going to get onto a player and we're talking about a particular game in a particular moment in a particular season, if you realize most fans, if not most people that speak about football, end up going to what they did last season or the season before that or the season before that. And you're like, what does that actually have to do with this particular game, this particular moment, this particular context of what the conversation is? It doesn't. It doesn't at all. But we entertain it because we don't know how to stick to a conversation. And I noticed that
He ain't lying.
You're the reason this species is a failure, and it makes me angry.
ages ago. And that's why sometimes I try not to dive into, football too deep with most people, because it's difficult. They're not going to be able to stay on task. They're not going to be able to stay on topic.
You're the reason this species is a failure, and it makes me angry.
If we're having a conversation, they decide to go off to 5 seasons prior. You're like, I don't care about that. We're talking about the now, and we're talking about this season. We're talking about this particular game. So I don't know. I want to know what you guys think, to be fair. Do you think that everyone's opinion should be highlighted? Do you think everyone should have an opinion on a particular sport? And it's not to censor people. It's not to say, I don't want to hear what you have to say, because at the end of the day, people can say, well, you don't have to read it. You don't have to look at it. You don't have to whatever. But it feels like it's the most obnoxious, loudest person in the room that kind of gets their opinion heard, where the more logical conversation doesn't get heard enough. And I don't know why that is. I honestly don't understand it. Maybe that's me that needs to, try and understand that a bit more. But just looking at how the way people criticize professional footballers now, and I speak to so many academy players, I speak to so many professional players, and
He ain't lying.
their conversation is like, they don't like it, bro, because at the end of the day, they're going, you don't know how difficult it is to A, play in a grassroots team, then to be scouted and go into an academy, and then you have to go through all the jargons of, you know, your reviews throughout your academy years. Then you, to get past that, then the percentage is lower because now you have to get into a professional setup. Now you're in a professional team, and now you have to stay there on a consistent basis and not fall out or not, you know, drop out and then, you know, go lower once you've got your opportunity to play in the professional level. How difficult that work from, you're probably about 6, you know, depending on when you start. You'd say, you know, there's a percentage that start from 6 years of age. The work rate, the sacrifices you have to do to get to that professional stage, and to just have it, like, what's the word I want to use, to have it like disrespected with people just saying nonsense at times, and you just like, the work that they have to have put in to get to that level, and you just think in one comment you can shit on everything they've done. I don't know. I would love to know what you guys think. Does every footballing conversation, you know, or opinions matter? Should we call out the bullshit where we see it? That's another one. Or should we just let conversations slide because it's fun and it's entertaining? Look, I'm here for the entertainment, but at the
Really?
same time, I will never disrespect the players because they know, like, I can see and I know how hard it is to get there. You know what I mean? I haven't played in a professional level, but I know I've played at a very high level and a high standard. So I know how difficult it is even just to get to that, much less to get to the top level of a professional and stay there consistently. But I'd love to know what you guys think, man. It's honestly crazy to just witness some of these conversations. I feel like people just can just say stuff now. No thought, no consideration, no understanding. You know, it's like they've never done this job, but they speak on it as if they have the most experience in it. That doesn't make sense to me, because I don't think there's any other job or way of life that anyone else can go. You know, for an example, an electrician, I don't think an everyday person that don't know nothing about electricity can really go, I know more than this person, and I think he should do this better. You wouldn't, because you don't understand it. And I think it's the same. I don't think because you can see a football and because you can kick it, it doesn't mean that you understand it. There's so much to football, so much more to football than just kicking a football around a pitch.
He ain't lying.
You know what I mean? And I feel like we've been devaluing it, you know, as well. Just basing the game around goals and assists instead of, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd love to see what you guys think about this conversation. But guys, as always, man, make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. And listen, if you're new, consider liking the video and you consider subscribing to the channel as well, man. Make sure you guys head over to my big up channel as well. That'll be in the description down below as well. We'll do our match analysis.
Do you speak any English?
As well. So, guys, until we meet again, catch you. Peace.